The bad guy is here, guys. The bad guy is here. I'm gonna add him. Hold on. The bad guy. Look, he's laughing. I see him in the background. He's laughing.
Bum bum bum.
Yo,
Dude.
Yo, all I see, you guys should see it from my point of view. I see the background and he's not on, and I'm like, the bad guy is here. And he's like,
Man, dude, enough with the bad guy shit. I'm starting to feel kind of like a little, just, oh, someone's got to change their battery. See? Use the force on Bergman's battery, apparently. Man, I really need to fix my hair.
Bro, this guy destroyed me just now. You see? He did it to me. Yeah, man, this was amazing. I know what you're going to say. This can't be scaled up.
It's not that it can't be scaled up. It's, I think, their refusal to scale up. And I understand why they're doing it, right? When you create quality products, they're going to last 100 years, right? I can tell you Palantir will probably be around 20, 30, 40 years from now, whereas other software companies that are big now may end up disappearing. No, not Snowflake. I can talk miles about Snowflake afterward, but I think the point is that their product is really good. It's just that they need to work on that scalability aspect. Every company and every person that spoke today pretty much highlighted how great Palantir is. But that's not something that we already don't know. Like, I can tell you right now, I totally agree with that. I've seen how crazy the software is, their utilization. The problem is, do you really need to always have a Palantir engineer come in, deploy stuff, and then constantly manage it and constantly have people there? Like, if you saw even the last one, which is the Tyson Foods guy, the Palantir team was there and they all took pictures and everything else. The purpose of software is to make everyone's life super easy, but also if you're trying to do things at scale, you need to create software that's easily implemented. And I think Palantir, for the most part, it ends up being very easy for the end users, but during implementation, it may take some wrangling around, right? So if you look at, like I said, Snowflake and Palantir, when it comes to like the data world, I think are two different things that can coexist very peacefully, by the way. I think a lot of people think that one can't, like, it's a, what is it? The winner take all kind of situation. It's not. Like, I'm sure that one day there are going to be Snowflake customers that are using Palantir and Palantir customers that are using Snowflake. It's even right now, I'm sure that there are. A lot of it is just operationalizing the data that you already have. And I think Palantir is doing a really good job of it. The only question is, in terms of business, how do you see them, get to that next level? Like, my understanding right now is Palantir is like Peter Luger's. Peter Luger's, is freaking amazing steak. Like, best steak in the world. The problem is McDonald's makes more money than Peter Luger's, right? Even though they're just literally putting a hamburger patty together and just selling it all over the world. The thing is, McDonald's is a lot more scalable. Rather than, like, imagine right now Peter Luger's try to like create a scalable product. It's just not who they are, but that doesn't mean that their steak isn't good, right? So I think Palantir has to find that happy medium where they can keep the product quality high, but at the same time make it so that it's super scalable. And even from like, just, this is a positive step. I'll be honest, this was amazing. Like, I really liked it. Like, I'm getting tired of listening to just people from Palantir saying how great their product is. When your customers start like saying like they're doing all this great stuff, dude, that's like a validation right there. So everything that all of us in the Palantir community, technically I'm not in the Palantir community because I'm not a holder right now.
You are. You're one of the biggest contributors. Whether. So let me counter a few things on that. First of all, I don't disagree with anything you said. First of all, I agree with you with the scalability, things like that. So this is what I'm going to say. If we were to reach our maximum capacity, like we grew as much as possible, now we must scale down because there's literally nobody else we could touch, I would be more worried about it, right? And I'm not saying that it's not a concern. I am 100% saying you are right. I am with you. However, I think there are still tons total addressable market of huge companies like a Tyson, like a Trafigura, like these just massive. And then we can go to countries as well, right? Besides for just the US, UK, that have a use for a super deep answer like Palantir. So I think Palantir has a massive amount to grow before they need to scale down. Because their clients, the big clients, they bring in, tens of millions and hundreds of millions, like ridiculous amounts of numbers. One of their clients is as good as, let's say, 50 scale down clients, right? Like one Palantir client is 20 or 30 or 10 regular clients, right? Like a Snowflake client or so. I'm equating Snowflake at 1 million, and I'm saying that an average Palantir client is like 20 something million or so, whatever the hell it is, the number. So there's a lot more companies like a Tyson that are going to see this and be like, hold on a second. We've been doing business since my grandfather's day, and my grandfather passed my business down to my father, and now it's my business, and I want to change shit. And when they're going to see this guy Tyson speaking, they're going to say, hold on a second. This guy took a 90-year-old business. He brought $200 million worth of value in 24 months, and he increases his productivity by like nearly 100%. That's why they're going into the supply chain, and this is the next frontier. The medical and supply chain, they're trying to showcase it because of the recession, the depression, whatever the hell you want to call it. Our freaking world is going to shit. So you need defense and supply chain.
Well, the thing that impresses me the most is that the value that they're bringing to their clients is obviously demonstrated, right? When it comes to like other products, like other softwares, even though technically they're using the product, you don't know if it's providing that real operational value just yet. I think Coach Strap kind of put it very, very bluntly, but it was very honest in that there's going to be a day where companies are going to look back and say, why do I have all these data initiatives and I'm not getting any real value out of them, right? Because at the end of the day, if you are using, if you take a product on, you're paying for it, you have to analyze it, right? And say, okay, what am I actually getting? Like, am I getting any value out of it? And what I
You
can
see
see
this
here
shit,
is that,
Kirs?
yeah,
You
let
see
that
this?
sink in. Is that Jay? Jay is like the king
Yeah.
of the Palantir memes, man.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, but I will
Uh,
say, like, I will say this: a few of the areas that they're touching on that are super impressive to me are one, the government side, because if you look at the regulatory framework, and we both know because we're from New York, regulations are always coming up. Like, dude, it's it's always like they're adding more regulations. Well, guess what? There are going to be companies out there that figure out ways to work around those regulations and be able to kind of work with partners like Palantir so that you can make things easy. So here's an example. Like in New York City, right? We have emissions testing. Like literally in your car, you have to take it to a garage every year so that they can stick a thing
it's
on
only
it.
us?
New York, dude, New York City has it. In Georgia, we don't have it in
Really?
well, actually, I think Atlanta might have it, but I know that my car is registered out of Chatham County in Georgia, so it's not there. So imagine like emissions control. Right now, we have to literally get our cars tested back and forth all the time, right? Imagine right now there was a way to monitor that in real time, right? And the government always knows every car on the road is passing emissions without having to constantly keep getting tested. Well, guess what? That's a product that requires a ton of data being integrated over, over like the edge and stuff. This is the kind of stuff that like Palantir can do, which a lot of people don't really like. A lot of companies can't, right? They're literally one of those people that can provide big data at scale. My only drawback is that can medium, smaller, and pretty much everyone utilize them? Because what's happening, in my opinion, right now is that Palantir is taking a very niche-like approach, but their success rate seems to be really high. I don't know what the success rate in the other industries is, but it's relatively high in terms of failure. So every time a company fails at achieving data transformation, dude, that's a Palantir client in the wings. Palantir just needs to figure out ways to capitalize on that. And yeah, and I think they have a good opportunity for growth.
All right. Again, I want to just reiterate, I do completely agree with you. I don't think that they need that capitalization right now. And I do feel once they tap into this market and this starts getting a little saturated or maxed out, and probably a lot before that, they will scale down. I don't see them not scaling down. I think it's more of also now you're going to hate it, but probably Carp is like, I don't want to scale down because our product is so amazing. I want people to get the whole kit and caboodle of what Palantir can do. I think that's going to change. He's being coached. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Yeah.
Somebody is coaching him. I don't know if it's Peter Thiel who came to him and says, yo, dude, enough is enough. They've been probably watching the YouTubers and they're like, yo, Tom Nash is getting very annoyed with you. And you better start talking better. But all jokes aside, they probably heard of Sasha Yashin and that he left the Palantir community, and they started coaching Dr. Karp. I just like what I see. I think you like what you see. In general, the last 2 months, they've been doing a lot more marketing. They've been doing a lot more publicity. Karp is actually speaking like a human being that people can understand. He started going off of tangent today a little bit, and then he came himself down. I don't know if you noticed that. He started talking about blah, 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 and then he's like, war, 30%. We're going to save everybody. Okay, bring it down.
Mhm.
So I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it now.